Yo, what's up guys? This is HoundFPS here. Got us a VOD review we're gonna do on a solo queue ranked player. Plays Lifeline. Said he's been struggling since he gets to Platinum 4 to really progress from there since last season. So he's looked out for help, and we're gonna go ahead and check this out. They loot up. Get out of here. Okay. Balloon out. I'm pretty sure up here is where we get our first kind of engagement as we're rotating. Now, let's wait till you're out of the item menu here. Quick little point is, if you're playing a character like Lifeline, Lifeline has a lot of pros and cons. One of the biggest pros is dueling wise. If you're strictly 1v1 speaking, you can get a lot of value because you can out trade people. You can trade damage. Let's say you both shoot each other. You do 100, they do 100. Well, you can heal faster than they can. So on paper, you win that trade, even if you don't necessarily win. Now, the cons to this, though, is that your mobility is basically nothing. You're limited, right? So being in a predicament where you're this far away from your team ever is going to cost you in some games. Not all the time. A lot of times you won't end up getting punished. This is why one of these things, it's really hard to figure out, right? Because it doesn't happen every game. Some games it works, some games it doesn't. So here we're rotating in, trying to catch up to our teammates. Looks like we spotted somebody over here. We went ahead and pinged. That's good. Communicating to your team that there is somebody here. But something I want to say, is, especially with solo queuing, is you can only do so much mechanically. Sometimes people are going to hold your angle, you're going to get shot, you're going to take damage. But something you can always do is try to enable your teammates to do more, right? By waiting for them sometimes. Sometimes not shooting is the better option, right? So here, we pinged, we pull our gun out, we scope in, and Wraith, right about at this point, notices that you're looking at her. So you two are about to trade damage. Now, we talked earlier about Lifeline being good at trading for the offset reason that you can out-heal the opponent, right? So this trade is okay. It's what we do after that isn't exactly ideal, right? So we trade here. Okay. Aim is aim, okay? Aim, just aim will improve with time, right? So let's just assume our aim is usually decent, right? We go here, we reload, it's fine. But we give our back line of sight to the enemy here. Once you shot at Wraith, it was pretty much guaranteed you had to hold that area you were at, because if you move, you give her line of sight. You give line of sight, if they're a good player, you're going to be punished every single time. The higher up the rank you are, the more punishment you're going to receive. So like, the play you just made would have worked had you have been Wraith and queued out. But instead of using that ability, since you're Lifeline, we didn't even get to use drone. We didn't get to use the fast heal that you naturally have, right? So the play there that I would have personally done is, as soon as this happens, boom, drone. I'm dropping it. And I would drop it more to the left. That way I can drop drone, I can start a battery or a cell, and I can very lightly peek the left edge of this crate and see if Wraith is pushing me. If she's danger close pushing up, I'm going to unpeek, cancel my heal, and then I'm going to jiggle peek her, meaning I'm going to quickly peek out, throw out a couple shots, peek back in, let drone heal me. Quick peek out, do a little bit of damage, come back on, let it heal me, and try to, and hope to God my team comes soon enough and play from that corner. And if she starts getting way too close and you know you're going to lose the fight if you ever have line of sight again, I would rotate to this edge of the box and I would get up here and I would sit there. That way my team, as they round that corner, they're going to have a shot on Wraith if Wraith pushes you. Right, but instead, the line of sight does, it does actually end up getting punished. So right there we go down, and then I'm pretty sure that's the end of this one. The Gibby ult, man. Good old Gibby. All right, so here we are. like your team wants to go Skyhook. You want to go Skyhook? We're playing Bloodhound this game. Looks like Lifeline was picked. So you can play any hero you want to play. Okay, you can play any legend. People will have their opinions. They'll tell you, people will tell you left and right, this is trash or this is good, or you need to play Wraith, you need to play this, you need to play that. I'm not gonna fall into that. But what I will say is that life will be a lot easier and more forgiving with certain heroes right now, right? So characters like Pathfinder, for example, if you're in a bad predicament, you have grapple to gain distance to get away from your enemy, right? You can force high ground with grapple. You have play potential in defense and offense. Same thing goes for Wraith. Same thing goes for Bangalore. Characters like these are going to be way easier to grind past this rough point than the two characters you've played so far. And it's not to ding on Bloodhound. I love playing Bloodhound, and I was a Lifeline main for season 1. So I mean, I love the characters. I love the no mobility. I love their play styles. It's just once you hit a certain point, there's things you need to learn in order to get past it, right? So to give yourself more options, I think will help that process go along a little bit faster. Let's see. Land over here. I want to see if we were contested. You're looking around, getting details. It's really good. Looks like you're not too contested here. We're going to skip through. Looting phase is looting phase. There's advice there, but I think overall, as long as you're moving quick and you're not letting go of W, you're doing just fine. Let's see here. All right, we're pushing across. Okay. Trying to get information. I like this. You're being patient. You're not just leaving high ground for no reason. Okay, right here, what you're doing is fine. Okay. Looks like we popped ult. Okay, see, so like here, for example, let's look at how long we were peaked out here with the flat line. So at 1342. We're ADS'd in and we're full peaked out right now. Okay, we're putting damage out, but what kind of damage can we receive right now? From 42 until 47, so 5 seconds of time. If you're putting yourself in a position where you're peaking out, how much damage can you put out and how long do you got to be there to do it? Those are the questions you want to ask yourself. You do play quick though. That's good. Start healing immediately. You're not wasting any time. So those are good habits you have. And honestly, that's not wasting time is a very hard thing. Now, healing through the damage. It worked this time. Okay, rotating around. Got a hot swap there. Okay, we got a scope on the flat line. Oh. Okay. So. Standing still, especially late game, big no-no. Gotta be moving. Gotta be strafing. AD strafing. There's too many snipers in the meta. Also, positioning. What are you doing right now? Gotta ask yourself that all the time. What am I doing? What's the goal? Is the goal to get information? Because if it is, you don't need to be in a place like this that's high risk. You can get shot from so many angles up here. But what's the reward? If it's just information, it's usually not worth this big of a risk for like a Bloodhound, right? And character selection also falls back into this. You can get away with a lot more playing other heroes, but like a character like this, you don't have an escape. So it's, oh, the Kraber. Definitely tough. Sometimes it just happens. You're going to get those shots. You're going to get hit. It's going to scuff the fight a bit. Sometimes you can recover. Sometimes you can't. It's going to happen, but it can also be slightly prevented by trying to get information instead of trying to fight. Right? So when you're here, you're looking around, circle's about to be finished closing. So what you could have done is just backed off, not been in a line of sight, wait for circle to close and see where you got to go, and then try to rotate there. If you have to fight for the rotation, you have to fight for the rotation. But this fight isn't necessary. You don't really have to do this. You don't have to be there. You don't have to look at someone to know they're there. Right? And that takes away some of the chances of like getting one tap by a Kraber, right? It's a little unlucky, but at the same time, you didn't have to be there. Okay, let's see here. Looks like we got the same crew back together over here. Got the lifeline bang. Bloodhound. Like we're rotating in. Bolted to get in the zone. You know, if you know you can make it, right? If you know you got the meds, like we got a bunch of syringes, I personally wouldn't, I wouldn't use it. I'd hold it. It's gonna give you a lot more value to just use a syringe there. You know, an extra syringe or two, at most, really. You really want to play tight with your team and try to be more conscious overall. Just staying with them, staying in their line of sight. That way, if somebody, always think, if somebody shoots them, that's a chance for you to do free damage because they're not looking at you. But you can't do that all the time. And you definitely can't do it if you're positioning as something like where you're at now. Okay, let's see here. Got a fight coming up. No hostiles. Okay. So, I would open up with R9 first, right? That's going to be able to put out the most damage the fastest, meaning you're not going to have to be in their line of sight as long. Also, if you ever fight this close up and you realize, oh crap, there's two of them, and you realize you're trading against two people, okay? Un-ADS and just hip fire, okay? Because at that point, your goal is no longer to maximize your damage output. It's to minimize your damage that you're taking, right? Because when you go down in this game, especially in solo queue, you are 100% leaving it up to your team, which just the way matchmaking works, you're going to get capped at a certain point, right? So you need to play tight. You need to play for your team, and you need to play in a way that's going to keep you alive. So not face checking, but being the dominant person forward and being the person up here, you're almost a tank to go and look at things. I think other characters may really help with this part of the problem. Because imagine if you walked up here, saw these, started shooting one, the second guy comes, you crouch down by the stairs to lose a little bit of line of sight and queue away with like Wraith. Right? Something like that could always work. And then another one that you could do, even with Bloodhound, is your team you know is behind you. Instead of going upstairs, seeing him, and just trying to 80 strafe battle him, you could have traded and just strafe to the side on the wall. That way, the only way they can kill you is to come down and get shot from your teammates' angles, giving your team an angle on them. Let's see. Okay, we're trading. Okay, real quick, small thing. As soon as you open a box after thirsting somebody, If you need to swap armor, first thing you do, boom. Because if you get shot and you get pulled out of this box, you're pretty much dead if you haven't armor swapped already. That's always the key thing. Small, but can make a huge impact sometimes. All right. Good use of hip fire. Could have been a little cleaner, but I'm not complaining. Let's look at this one more time. Okay. So here, the damage you did, the push upstairs, the follow-up damage, good. At this point, good. Now, pushing stairs knowing your clip is about to be gone, super, super risky. If this guy was better, he probably would have got you right here. Right? So again, the thing with Lifeline isn't about kill securing. It's about you trade and you can out heal that damage, right? So it would have been better to let your Bloodhound finish this guy and for you after pushing up to the first part of the stairs. Let's see. As soon as you get to, there's a doorway right here on your right. Once you get about right here, either go back down the stairs, right? Or go over there in that doorway. As soon as you take a little bit more damage. Because the main goal is you can't go down, right? If you go down, you can't carry. Meaning if you're supposed to be diamond, you're never gonna be diamond because you're dead. Right? It's the only way you're gonna climb through plat to diamond in solo queue is staying alive. It's always better to just let a kill go than it is to put yourself in a spot where if you miss one bullet, you're dead. Okay, good peek. Had someone on your left, good movement. Drone. Okay, no drone. It's okay. We are healing, that's good. Seeing where circle is, I would have just taken the balloon there. Because again, staying alive is more important than being close to your teammates at a certain point. Because that's the only way you're going to do it. It's the only way you're going to climb. Because your teammates, if matchmaking is working correctly, your teammates aren't going to be good. We're in a spot now. We're low on HP. The zone's ticking. Pressure's on. There's a team holding us out. Who knows who else is rotating in. Definitely, your first instinct of taking balloon would have been better. You know, at a certain point, you're going to have to just enable that mentality of, I'm going to be better than my teammates. Even if you're not. You have to play with that mentality that what you're doing is the right thing. Because if you constantly follow decisions that other people are making that you can't even communicate with, you're not going to gain anything from the losses. So instead, it's going to be a lot better for you long term to make your own decision. Run with your gut. And when it doesn't work, hey, you know next time when you're in a similar predicament, try something else. Try it again. Maybe it'll work the second time. And as you play and get all that experience, it's going to add up into your decision making, and it's going to make it a lot easier for you to know what to do when without hesitation. So I will go ahead and say thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you guys next time.